Good morning, everybody. Patty Ann here. Hey, Lavita, a girl on our Facebook group, had asked me to show her how to do something that she's unable to do right now. She's making SVG. She's been learning that through watching my videos. Remember, I had like about 14 of them in the last couple of weeks to teach you how to make SVGs for any machine using this software. So let's go to my machine or my computer and let me show Lavita and you how to do this. Okay, this is the image that she started out with, and what she wants to have happen is she doesn't want all these little holes cut out of this gray part. I'm thinking that's what she didn't want, and she doesn't want these little squiggly lines in the E, but I'm not sure. She may want those. I'm not positive. But what I know she does not want is these little parts here to show up or to be vinyl or this or even the word cowboys, because she wants to be able to put this on a white shirt and the white of the shirt would just show through in those areas. So here's what we do. First thing you do is come over to the trace panel, which looks like a piece of toast or a butterfly, and then you say select the trace area. Oh, and don't forget, if you don't have this software and you want to purchase it, I do have links for it down below, and it's a one-time fee of $48. You don't have to pay, $19.99 per month like you do with Illustrator or any of those other programs. It's a one-time fee and you own it. You don't rent it. Okay, so I did the select the trace area, and it looks like a pretty good trace. Maybe I can mess with the threshold a little bit like this if I want to. If I don't like the lines that I'm seeing, I'm going to scroll in with this little bug tool and look. Okay, to me that looks pretty good right there. What I'm looking at is these lines here. I want them to be smooth. You'll notice if I go up too far, I start getting some white yellow stuff around here that I don't want. So I'll just go to about right there, I guess. Nope, I want to go lower. No, I'll go there. And I'll just say trace, and let's see what we get. And I'll scroll out. So I have a few extras over here in case I want to fix something. So, oh, that's perfect. That's what I'm left with, just like this. So she said she would like to have this be changed up a little bit. Now let me show you what I would do first. The first thing that I would do now, if I was doing this, I would come up here to the color swatch area and change this to a color I won't be using in my object. That, okay? And then the next thing I would do is I would come up here to Object, Release the Compound Path. And that's going to allow me to do whatever I want to with this image. For example, she said that she doesn't want this circle to be cut out. Now I can move that circle, but that's not what she wants. What she wants is when I click on that, or me to actually remove the circle so we can see the background behind it. So all I have to do is click on this circle to select it, hold down my Shift key, select the rest of the helmet, and come way over here to the Modify panel. It says a rectangle with the circle. Click on that and come up here and say Subtract. Now notice what that did. That subtracted that hole right out of there, which is exactly what she wants. So let me hit Control Z on my keyboard to go back. The other thing she said she wanted was she wanted these parts to be white, or clear I should say, transparent. No vinyl there, nothing. So how do we do that? Click on this one, hold down the Shift, get this one, still holding down my Shift key, getting this one, still holding down my Shift key. I'm going to click on the helmet and then come over here to the Modify panel. If it's not open, I click it to open it and say Subtract. And check this out. Look what's happened. Those things are totally gone just like she wants. So I'll hit Control Z or the undo button and go back. Now the other thing that I think she still wants, she wants the word cowboys to be cut out also. So I'm going to click on this. I've got to click on all the word cowboys because it's not all together, and that C is all by itself. Click on that. Once I'm pretty sure I have all the letters selected, while I'm still holding down the Shift key, I'll select the V, or the greenish color, and come over here to the Modify panel again, which is still open, and click Subtract, and that's exactly what she wanted. Now, I think that she also wants to have the inner part a solid gray here. So how I could do that is just go like this. Click on this, come over here to the Offset panel, and say Internal Offset. Okay, now that internal offset I can change to a color of silver or gray, whatever it is. Let's see, there we go. And let's see what else. She wanted an inner part on this one as well, I think. So again, I would come over to the star, which is the Offset panel, click on that, click Internal Offset, and while that internal offset is still selected, I could make it that silver color. Also, I could just make this star, and if I wanted to, I could have several layers, but I think she was happy with just one layer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this inner one and get rid of it, and I'll just make this one silver. And I think that's it. So the only other thing I want to do now is I want to go ahead and get the outermost part of all of it. Oopsie, Control Z. I should get all of the greens. So I'm selecting that one, hold down my Shift key, get that. Nope, that didn't do it. Okay, so what I would need to do is when I click on this, I want to make sure I'm getting the greenish color. Look up here, you can see what I've selected. The silver, it's not what I want. So I'm going to select out further. There we go. See, I got the green that time. And I want to change it to the same blue that was used in her original image. So I'm going to click on the eyedropper and click on this. And that changed it to the color she wanted. The same thing with the helmet. Notice I have it selected. Come up here. Now I don't have to use the eyedropper this time because the last color I selected is right here in this furthermost left swatch. Okay. Do the same thing with the outer part of the E. Look up here. I don't have that selected. I have the gray. So I've got to try again. Get the greenish color. There we go. And change it. And the V, and change it, and there we go. And I think that's exactly what she wanted, but look at this. She is going to have a little bit of an issue with this, depending on how big she makes it, with the vinyl pieces, because she needs to make these blue as well. Because I'm going to have to click on each one of these and change them, and you'll see what I mean in just a minute. I can click on this one, hold down my Shift key, and get this one, and this one, and this one if I want. And then change them all to blue. But here's the thing what I'm talking about. If I move this, look at that. See, she's going to have to put these little teeny weeny pieces on there. Just like that. But it is vinyl, so that won't be as bad. Just depends on how big, this thing is, whether it's going to be a real problem or not. So there we go. All right, so let's scroll back out. And I think this is exactly what she wanted. So she may have wanted these, but she said she knew how to do that part, to have these little zigzaggy lines here. But I think this is what she wanted. So now what I would do is, if I was making this out of vinyl myself, what I would do is come up here to the little tool that says Select by Color. It looks like a paint palette. Click on that. And come over here and say by fill color. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab these and select them by color. So I'm going to click on the first one, the color swatch, and come up here and go to Object, Make a Compound Path. So that keeps these all together exactly like I'd like them if I'm doing this in vinyl. Then I would go to the blue, grab all of those, and go Object, Make a Compound Path, and that would keep all of the blue together. Now I'm not sure if there's still something else on here. I don't know why these are showing up. Something weird is happening, but this is exactly what I want. So now if I was going to use this, let me right click and bring this to the front. If I was going to use this on my Cricut machine, all I would do is grab all of this and say File, Save Selection, Save to Hard Drive, and I would save it as Dallas Cowboys. And if I have the business edition of the software, remember that's only the one-time fee of $48. Listen, I know other people are teaching classes on how to make SVGs, and the programs they're using cost $19, $20 a month. 20, 40, 60. In 3 months, you will have paid more than you'll pay for this software that you will have forever and ever and don't have to make another payment for. It's yours to keep. Okay, so I have the link for it down below if you're interested. But let's change this now. If you have the business edition for your Cricut, you don't need the business edition if you're using a Cameo. But for the Cricut, in order to be able to save it as an SVG, you got to have the business edition. And it is a fee, one time, $48 on sale right now. So let's go. Let's save this on our desktop to Dallas Cowboys. Let's open up Cricut. Let me show you. One thing I might want to say is if I was making this for my Cricut, I may have, and I wanted it to be an exact size, I may have wanted to make sure that I remember this size right here or put this size in the name of the file. For example, if I wanted this for a t-shirt, whoopsie, I got to grab both pieces. If I wanted this for a t-shirt, usually for a shirt, I like them about 9 inches wide or 10 or something, but it depends on if this is for a guy or a girl, whatever. I'm going to make this thing just so I can keep track. I'm going to lock this lock and I'm going to make it 9 inches wide. The reason why I locked the lock is I wanted it to stay proportionate. So now I'm going to save this for my Cricut again. So this time I'm going to say File, Save Selection, Save to Hard Drive. I hope I said Save Selection. File, Save Selection, Save to Hard Drive, and I'm going to name it 9.00. So I remember the width I want this to be. Dallas Cowboys. And I'm going to name it, I'm going to save it as an SVG and say Save. So now when I go to open this in Cricut Design Space, New Project, I'm going to upload an image, browse. I'm going to browse to my desktop, and it's going to be 9.00 Dallas Cowboys. I'm going to say open. There it is, perfect. I'm going to save it, and I'll open it, insert it. And you're going to notice when it comes in, it's not coming in at the size I want it to be. Look what it says it is. It says it's 3.175 inches wide. But we know that we made it, we designed it, we want it to be 9 inches wide. So as long as this lock is locked, I can change that to a 9 and hit enter, and it's going to be exactly the size I wanted it to be. And look at, there's just two layers because I made them a compound path over in the software that we just came from, the Silhouette software. Rewind the tape and watch that part. And now I can just say make it. And look, on one mat we're going to have this. On the second mat we'll have that. And it's going to be perfect. So I hope this helps, Lavita. Let me know. Thanks. Hey, if you guys have any questions and you're in our Facebook group, I'd love to help you with your problems that you're having making SVGs also. Thanks again for joining me. Give me a thumbs up if you like my videos and subscribe. Hit the bell. See you soon. Bye.